Hi, welcome to the video blog for the set design of Yes Talk or Notes at the End of the Orange Revolution. So here's the scoop. It got pretty hectic leading up to opening night, so there has been a little bit of a lapse between this video and the previous video. And the reason for that is as it just got so busy, I was taking a bunch of footage, but had no time to video edit. So now I'm going back and video editing things, and I'm realizing that there's actually a lot of footage that doesn't have like these moments where I'm kind of explaining what's going on. I just got too crazy, and I kind of forgot to take those. So it's gonna be a bit different. It's gonna be I'm gonna be filming those now, so it's gonna kind of be a like retrospective intro to a lot of the videos that I'm gonna be showing you in the next couple of videos. So anything that I didn't do on the spot, I'm gonna do now. So it looks a little bit different. That's because it is. Okay, so in this video you are going to see the assembly and the beginning stages of painting of the projection wall. I really wish that I had more footage of this day because a lot happened that I don't have to show you, so I'm just going to kind of explain it a little bit. This video footage that you're about to watch happened on the Friday. The video that you just saw previously was Thursday. And the reason why this is all important is because on the Saturday we move into the space. And so what that means is on Saturday we were going to hang that projection wall and get it up into position for the show. So it had to be done by Friday. Thursday we ended up having to renegotiate our schedule a little bit. By a little bit I mean a lot. So what ended up happening was we ran out of some structural boxes to make the wall the shape that we needed it to be. And so I ended up putting that aside and finishing the accordion stair piece while our amazing director Brunnen ran around the city finding more boxes. So what that meant is it ended up putting us a day behind on the wall. And so this Friday morning I finished the layout of the wall and then started assembling. And I started assembling and I was using these pins that were just not working like how I had anticipated they would work. I thought they would be stronger and more durable, and they just weren't. I wasn't really pleased with what was happening, and I kind of had to scrap that idea. And so it was about noon on Friday and I was thinking of different ways of attaching and trying to come up with other contingency plans, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like this has to get done today, and so what happens if it doesn't, you know? So all of these scenarios are going through my head, and the most amazing thing happened. My friends, Paul Teithgraber, friend and classmate, we went to theater school together, he's amazing. He came in to visit me and arrived at the most opportune time, or inopportune time for him, maybe. But no, I was kind of like, you know, I don't know what to do with this wall now. And it was so great having a second pair of eyes and just someone to bounce ideas off of. And so we thought, oh, we'll go to the Home Depot and, you know, see what they've got and come up with something else. But what I hadn't anticipated is in Ontario, chains close. It was the Easter weekend. And so like in Alberta, things close, but usually the big name box stores stay open. But I found out this is in Ontario, that's not the case. Like everything closes. So Home Depot was closed. So we got all the way there and we're like, oh man, this is not good. And so we went back to the wall and decided we were going to use some contact cement and then reinforce that with a lot of packing tape. And so Paul ended up driving around the city, grabbing as much packing tape from like corner stores or gas stations or anywhere that was open. And oddly enough, Shoppers was open, and he tried to go and grab a bunch from Shoppers, but they wouldn't let him. Anyways, it was funny. Like it was in their postage section, and the post office was closed, but they were open. And anyways, it ended up being really funny, and they accused him of being the person who bought them out of packing tape the last time. They're like, aren't you the guy who bought us out of packing tape the last time? And he's like, what? I've only been in this town for like 2 hours. It's like, it's not me, I swear. And then they still wouldn't sell it to him. So anyways, that was just a funny story. So he got as much packing tape as he could. And then we started assembling the wall, but because we were using contact cement, we had to move the wall from inside the house into the backyard. So that was funny because as we were moving it out, you're thinking like, oh yeah, you know, I know the orientation of these boxes. And once you get out there, it's amazing how confusing it gets. And so there's definitely some like, I think this box went here. I'm like, no, I just brought it in, you know, and anyways. So there was some reassembling, like relaying out of the projection wall that needed to happen. And then once we got it laid out again out in the backyard, we started assembling it in sections that would fit in cars, because going into the theater, there was no, we didn't have a big truck to load everything into and bring it into the theater. So it all has to fit into the back of a car. So we had to build it in sections, and so that when it gets into the theater, we attached it and then hung it. So what this video shows is us attaching it into sections, and then while we were doing that, it started, well, at the end of this video you'll see, it started raining, and so we weren't finished assembling, but we had to book all of it back into this sheltered area kind of at the back of the yard. And so that was hectic and frustrating. And like the worst thing was like it didn't pour. It was like sprinkled for like 15 minutes. So it was one of those things that if we didn't move it, it would have destroyed the boxes, but it felt like we moved everything for like almost nothing. So then we had to bring it back out again and then relay it out, the pieces that we hadn't assembled yet, or the sections that we hadn't assembled yet. Relay it out and then make sure everything fit together, and then continuing the assembly and then the painting of it. So we finished at like 1 in the morning. It might have even been 2. No, I think it was 1. I think it was 1 in the morning when we finished everything. So because it was so hectic and so many things were going awry this day, I didn't get a lot of footage, and I really wish that I got more footage of it because it's really funny when I think about it, but I wish I could show you guys. Anyways, so that's the explanation of this video.